Yazol.
Welcome to the hot kitchen of the Yazol Podcast. We are the three amigos, your story chefs on duty, cooking you some of the hottest stories from out there, Sot Sukun. And now, straight out of Vancouver, Canada, the big man, Zol Kebir on the wheels of steel. Please welcome DJ Bakumba.
Yeah, hi guys, how are you guys doing? Hope you guys are having a good week and looking forward to the coming week. You are welcome for our new podcast. Let's sit down, chill, and let's talk stories.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, for sure. Another Zol Kebir on the wheels of steel, the Mokoto. Please welcome DJ Michael.
Yes, greetings to everybody. This is DJ Michael, the Mokoto from Edmonton, coming direct to you guys with all the stories around the world. So we are going to talk some stories and we want to have fun. Don't take these stories so serious. If we offend you, just subscribe and keep listening to us. We are just here to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am the chef on the grill, Dedi Seyi, Sultan of Small London, Zol Kebir Musuran Selik. So welcome. Coming up today on Yazol Podcast, the highlights. From South Sudan, Jamus FC, Juba, wins the South Sudan Super Cup. A bus has been attacked on the Nimule Highway and set ablaze. Armed robbers attack a minister's house in Juba. A schoolgirl was shot in Juba also. John Frog was the topic in the school's debate in Juba. Musician sells charcoal to earn a living, thus in South Sudan. From the African continent, a Malawian pastor has been arrested for kissing a congregant. A thief was a man pretending to be a woman. Botswana man drowns in a river during a baptism. In Nigeria, a security guard has drowned in a diesel tank. And former Kenyan presidential candidate now languishing in a US jail. All these stories coming up on Yazol Podcast, Sot Sukun, and the hottest stories from out there. Okay, let's go to our first story from South Sudan. Jamus FC Juba wins the South Sudan Super Cup 2024-2025. And they beat Almeric Bentiu 2-1 at the Juba National Stadium. The Buffaloes, of course, came in with $4 million in their box and gold from winning 3-1 in the local Super League tournament in Juba after beating Melekia FC. And now Jamus, of course, secured the 2-1 win over Almeric from an 11th and 16th minute goal from Costa. It seems the glory for Jamus was short-lived because Simba came in and also beat them 2-0 in the Juba local football league, which is called the Konyo Konyo Derby. Bakumba, it seems Kura ta Juba de Lib Mafia, ta can go for Lena Shia Zareta Wali Kof Bar, Bukortita. It's very competitive. These guys won and then they thought they were too secure, now they're out again.
Yeah. So that's the beauty of the game. That's the beauty of the game. It's beautiful to see that our local league is growing and it's growing competitive. That's what we want. That's what we want in the beautiful game, right? When you have that kind of competition, then everybody have to up their game. They have to practice more. They have to work harder and everything. So it's a beautiful thing. It's so good to see that there's a huge competition, and I just hope that the fan base continue to grow. Because without the fans, the league cannot grow that much. So we need people to really support those local teams and the fan base instead of Gum Sabasaba, Manchester, Arsenal. Don't waste your time because you will never meet any Arsenal or Manchester player. Like in the Jamus, man, as an Elmeric, those are your local guys. You will meet them and you can actually talk to them. So don't live in imagination. Support the local league and let's grow the game, man. That so that we take over. We can take over soccer. We can take over football, basketball. We're the kings of basketball. And soon, I think we're going to be the kings of runners. And as the Kenyan Jelda, we're going to knock them out. I think that's how we can do anything.
Yeah. Almeric were very disappointed in their coach because knocked Jelda Bara Matim to Kulu. Michael Mustas Magisare.
Wallahi, gisat ana mas ma details at all. Like, what I'm trying to say here is I think soccer is growing really very fast in Juba. I think we're going to catch up with the basketball team, and I think we are going to be competent in the whole continent because because I remember growing up, like I was the age of 12 to 15. You know, there used to be Almeric, and then there used to be Hilal, there used to be Togomasin, there used to be Wahida, and there used to
Neil
be
and Amal Al Kura.
Yeah, Neil and Amal Al Kura. Like, you know, we are always there, like Kandori Bada. We spent the whole days watching those games, and it was very, very, very competitive. And I think this is what is coming right now in Juba and the whole South Sudan. I think we'll be competing with the Nigerians, the Cameroonians, the Ivorians, and those tough giants of Africa. You know.
Yeah. The Junior Bright Stars, the under-20 team, are now in training for the Sekafa tournament, which kicks off in Tanzania on October 6th. Of course, South Sudan were runners-up last time. They lost to Uganda. But this time, we are hoping they will do much better in Tanzania. The tournament runs from the 6th to the 20th of October. What do you think Bakumba Jamadel are getting right for the younger guys compared to the senior team?
Yeah, I think it's I think for me it's a plus. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because because in every, if you them to develop the game, you need those youngsters to come up, right? You need those you need those young academies. You need the from primary school to high school to the universities. We need those youngsters to come up. So if as long as we can get it right with the youngsters, 100% will because those guys, they can transition from the junior team all the way to senior team as long as we keep up their game. We need to check what they are eating. Maybe they're not wasting too much time hopefully not.
Michaeleta told one of the players apparently Zola Juskida Anamar of Kanisim Tomunu Benz, and if you remember Ndiefi from Cameroon back in the day.
Yeah,
right.
But Jake Deben Ajus, I don't think he's under 20.
You know, in the whole continent, sometimes those junior players will be actually players that are supposed to be in the senior team. But what I really recommend is the fact that Juba is coming the whole country is actually coming very, very, very strong with the soccer. The only thing that they need to really establish is they have to have real trainers, and they have to eat fit to fit the game. Because I remember in the early days of our growth, there was a Sudanese player who went to Germany, I think, to play in Germany. But the guy was not physical. He is very technical, like skills was very, very good. But physically, he was not fit.
Okay.
You know, you see the players in Europe, in the Americas, they are like, if you see people like those of Ronaldo, those people are strong.
Yeah.
So that's what they really have to develop. They have to have a lot of academies. It's not going to be like during our days whereby it's like a school inter-competition, and then from there you just graduate to a senior team. It's a Mafi academy, Mafi trainers, Al-Nisir, be trained to gym, and forget about the soccer training, physical kind of trainers. Right. If they develop all that, they will be able to compete in the continent.
Well, let's go to our second story, and this is sad news this week, because a passenger bus that left Juba was, attacked on the highway in Nimule, somewhere close to Kubi. So the bus was carrying 40 passengers and belonging to the Bebeto Bus Company. The gunmen opened fire, aiming for the driver. The conductor tried to escape to the back. He was shot and he died in the bus. The bus stopped and was set ablaze on the road. Of course, passengers were abducted and their belongings looted. 6 were later released, and they were able to walk back through the bush for about 7 hours to Aru Junction, and then they were rescued that way. I don't understand what's going on with these people. Why target civilians? Why target companies? The economy is already doing very bad. You're banning buses on the way,
I woke up to that sad story that morning, man. I was really upset. But it's very, very uncalled for to attack innocent civilians who are just going around with their daily life activities. Just to attack a bus. It's not a military target. There's nobody belongs there to the government. They're just ordinary citizens. Actually, a lot of them are from our neighboring countries too. There are a lot of people who are from our neighbors, and it's just very sad. It brings a very, very, very bad image to the country. The economy, as you said, the economy is already bad. Everybody's struggling. Then add to that, you add insecurity. Now a lot of people, even the economic activity, I believe after that attack, people are now very scared of traveling along that route. So what do? You're going to restrict the movement of people. That destroy business. It destroys a lot of jobs. So I don't know who those guys are. Whether they are rebels, whether they are bandits, whether they're terrorist elements in the country. But I think it's uncalled for, and we just call upon the government to offer more security to the citizens, because people are tired of this kind of war. People just want to move on. And condolences to all the families that lost their loved ones. And we hope that one day some of those gangs and bandits can be brought to justice.
Yazol. Our condolence just goes to those that lost their dear ones.
Yeah. I think the police commissioner and the security people who are there today. We really need to keep the country peaceful. We are really sick and tired of these back and forth wars and whatnot. Most of us just want a peaceful country and just to farm and just live life, And talking about living life, Bakumba, I think you should start becoming Prophet Bakumba from today. Because last time you remember a Mangnong story from Bor, the Panga story. You did say that, Jamadel Bitalam in Jekdak, they might end up with a governor. Well, apparently Toronto went for somebody who is actually higher than a governor, a minister in Juba. Armed robbers attacked the house of the Minister for Animal Resources and Fisheries. They stole 3 million South Sudanese pounds, 50 euros, $450, 3 guns and several mobile phones. Minister Onyoti Adigo says 3 armed robbers stormed his house at 8 p.m. and forced his family members, including his wife and children, into a room. And then, of course, Nangaro Marata Jek de Sakit. So Biniato Jere folk, le Baba folk in upstairs, she told him what's going on. So he was able to call for police to come and help him out. And Jamadel Kaman Serego diplomatic passports to use, man. The honorable minister lost his diplomatic passports. Quite sad for security-wise for a minister, a national government minister, to be attacked. What is going on in Juba? And on the same day, there was a young man too who was beaten by Toronto. Falagora Stode Laadi, Even the CT scan from the hospital shows like a traumatic blow to the head of the poor guy, and he died. For me, my question is, what happened to the minister's security, Bakumba?
Yeah, even me, that's my question.
Yeah.
Someone that I know Nas Kubardeli, even in bodyguard at least can might mean at least why.
Yeah.
At least if you're a national minister. So I don't know what happened. You that the security draw 9 mean or a much date because the story doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Nas Kubardeli into bodyguard wherever they go. They are able to disarm the guards, and then we understand. Oh, these are probably very powerful gang that are able to enter the ministry. So this thing does not. It doesn't make any sense that a national minister, because even a state minister, I think even the state minister has at least 1 or 2 bodyguards, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I know the economy is bad in Juba. Those people, the robbers shouldn't be beating the wife. Taking a passport. Why you take the passport for? Like, what are you going to do with it? You can't go with that passport anywhere, and you can't even sell it.
The Nasco Barde, the thieves will come for you. The thieves will come because the local, the Zol Sukun, the little guy has no more money. So Haramiade, they will come for you. So it's high time that everybody need to wake up. That security is for everybody, from the president, from the top to bottom. if they rob the minister, one day you'll be surprised. Maybe
Yeah.
you never know what will happen to J1 one day when people are hungry.
Yeah.
So people need to look at the bigger picture. That
Yeah.
you know, we need the little that we have, the little sources that we have, instead of keep stealing while the people are poor and the insecurity. We need to learn that, you know, when you equitable sharing of resources and opportunities will eliminate some of these problems. So now Malaysia Yazol Kebir, Wazir, we hope that, you know, things are sorted out.
Yeah. Another difficult story too. A schoolgirl from Chaplain Christian Primary School in Juba was shot, and she's admitted at the emergency unit at Peace Chinese Hospital in Juba because both her legs were fractured from the gunshot. She was shot on Monday, and some say the perpetrator was a soldier who was called into the school premises by the headmaster to threaten the students who were on strike for not being taught. Of course, a report denied by the school, and the police are yet to comment on, you know, the incident or release a statement. Michael, you remember debating in primary school?
Yeah, I was
Father is better than mother.
Active students.
Yeah, mother is better than father. Huh?
Yeah, they come with all those stories. Water is better than fire. Mother is better than father. Town life is better than village life. Whatever those stories.
Okay.
I remember that.
Yeah, well, John Frog, who is a musician, is in trouble because during the inter-schools, primary schools debate in Juba, someone said, John Frog, who is South Sudan's #1 artist, rose from grass to grace through wide distribution of his hit songs like Gondo Circuit and Action and Energy on social media, such as YouTube, Instagram, WhatsApp. Just imagine if social media wasn't there, John Frog would have been known only by people from Munuki. That's Sarah Kiden from King's Academy Digital School. You know, she was detailing, of course, the importance of social media during the debate. The event was organized by the Teachers Without Borders Association and its partner organizations. And meanwhile, Liege Primary School debated Hillcross Primary School, and their motion was retail businesses should be owned by South Sudanese. A pupil, Joseph Yak from Hillcross Primary School, said, Chapati places which are owned and run by foreigners save many lives in South Sudan. Just imagine if retail businesses owned by foreigners are closed. Junubin can't afford shurba or share. They will die from hunger. Of course, Kiryul Kuol from Liege Primary School countered Joseph by saying, money will circulate within South Sudan if retail businesses are owned by South Sudanese rather than foreigners, simply because foreigners send a lot of the money back to their countries, leaving South Sudan empty. Debate Sokona, Bakumba.
I debate Sokona. I can see that the schools are not left behind. That's a good competition.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the attack on the frog is the most funny one. Logan YouTube maybe John Frog because the Gudele in Munuki.
Yeah. Block B or Block C fi Munuki na Naro.
Or the block Yatu Logan the Munuki like can have the thanks to the internet as a John Frog. It's a very funny thing. So they debate the question. Those things they want that, you know, make people to grow. Yeah.
We are basically developing young politicians who can stand their ground in front of people,
That's
right? So,
I think that's a fact though. Like if you see those people that are in the on the top of the political arena, well, they are lawyers, they are like business people and stuff like that. These guys actually, most of them are, you can see them right from junior high, from high school, to universities and colleges. These people they have the skill from a younger age. And the debating thing, like even now you can see around those guys that were very tough at debating at schools.
Yeah.
They are also very tough. They are successful in life. That topic was really good, and those kids, well, the pupils, the students, they really hit the government on the top.
The woman Demiru John Frog Kamana.
Yeah.
shokol bita rakabo chapati usunu they shokol bita wewe they the foreigner. You know, we have very weird mentality. Yeah, for most of our people, work means you need to have this big office. After beginning material, and they are shokol. You don't understand that shokol actually those small enterprises. That's actually where the local money is. It will be good marketing, but you have no cash flow. What is the point? Director bit as finance or something, but salary be tax mark in 6 months. So I accept all the chapati. So people need to mindset need to change. That map sokol gale wasaka, they sokol ta wasaka, they sokol in the deep. Job is job. As long as you're doing legitimate business, you need to go for it. Yeah. Chocolate fruit. There's no country whereby chapati is done by foreigners. I've not seen one. We have traveled all over. We have traveled so many countries. Those small business for sure they belong to the locals. Everywhere. It just naturally inclined that when I'm sitting there and that there's somebody there who need to eat, I can make chapati and sell instead of waiting for a guy to come from Kenya to come and cook the chapati. Then in the mushkila we have some mental issue. Maybe we'll not send a book and economic counseling maybe.
One person who has learned the lesson and is doing well for himself is a musician. Fanan min Juba isim to Victor Garang. Sibu shokol music obega bite bifaham fi custom enak 3 months now. And he says, as youth, let us work no matter the type of work, just to do it to support your family and cover your daily expenses. Singing is a talent, God-given talent. In living, we should not avoid and blame the government for that. So stakal, it doesn't matter. There's no embarrassment. Sala kan faham waskan, guru shall bida kalfija bata kidema bukun waskan.
That's actually the problem. Junubin, I think maybe can muskilata chapati there because growing up, I didn't know anything about chapati until we traveled to East Africa. Maybe Junubin there is a mar how to do chapati, but they should have learned from the foreigners. They should have learned from the foreigners and carry it on with the business. And the problem
ita Michael mata embarrass small London. Ata der kelim gal nase nak ma barof chapati zaman dukun.
Maybe tabarof, but I didn't know. I didn't know. Like nagamulo legema tamia. Those are the things that we grew up with. But chapati they can rarely. I didn't know much about. But at least still salakan chapati they kan na jede umata tan nagamulo tamia gamulo legema gamulo. Like even you can do kisra and then the bitebio, right?
Yeah.
I think kisra is our thing.
Yeah. Now you're getting into dangerous territory. If you don't behave, Jelda, Sot Sukun. So this week, Bakumba, there's the video out there. I'll use there kan jeribu arfa shawal. Tegila buloto kida. I think bukunta gawa weleta. Ta dokon wele ta dora, I don't know, but obe integil. So fiku shawal de la juice de waga fidahar to jelly wala ragap to kan fat. But ara marufo kan bijeledu munu a juice de bijeledu wele shabab alge nata kwa sana buloto waga men dahar ta juice.
Ada in the video yaba de sokol gerege risuna mara kan mon garu Juba la ni gonne de sokol ta gumai. I don't know can because Arabic change maybe you have these guys have a new name. Like in Zonle yaba kan jiribu sokol da guma yaba is hasla. Yaba there some little money to go and feed his family. So jiribu at least he's trying. He's not sitting around there, waiting. Yala fish sabab tanin muarasini ware nage gata. Yaba goes in Zonle this guy is trying, This guy is trying. He's doing his best. So I applaud this guy, man. I applaud this guy. I'm happy that, oh my senu akil min zol kebir. Oh my guy fi ta sejer bes this teno be akol saket. He's trying. Oro jerbu sokol gumaide. Go amat lakin he tried. Lakin nasa la ju duguso de muarasina ngata kwata kwara de. De muarasina de nasal de algata ko de nasal gaidin kulu yum ter sejer gaso bushay galgi senu sokol o chocolate yaw jamit fi Juba hina chocolate yaw chocolate ya bagi jeri bude so del de ya ju sot natal gata bude ita honal ter sejer tangayro guma e jozo gi jeri bude de ya ta kun dugu tamam lakin kudos upload yaba continue hustle man yumtane rabbana baraka ita tamam
so tako nasma mata tako kalam yaba gal shawalo aga meragap tuto sort bako dita sake. All right. Now let's go for a quick roundup from Africa. A prominent religious leader in Ghana has made a bold prophecy concerning the upcoming elections in Ghana. Prophet Jesus Ahuofe, who leads the New Life Kingdom Chapel International, has declared that certainly the National Democratic Congress, NDC, will secure 52.7%. Numbers del German Shamawat Yazol. He said no matter what actions the New Patriotic Party of President Nana Akufo-Addo takes, they will lose the elections to the NDC of John Dramani Mahama. Sabide, I think when you telephone Albora Tawale le St. Peter le shuna Michael.
Sabide zat kana salo so al gal Rabana can zol be communicate the Rabana zol le use iPhone or le use Samsung or le so no zar ma be job. But all along I know Jamadel the prophets nowadays in Africa they are emerging like in every field. But the thing is none of their prophecy is actually true. But some of those prophecies are not really a prophecy. Like you can sometimes tell through the campaign, through the deterioration of the other party, you can tell that this party is not gonna win. But for them, they'll take it and make it to be a prophecy, which is just a fallacy. But I don't believe in those prophets really. Like the Bible even says that in the last days there's gonna be a lot of false prophets. So.
Okay. Well, talking about that, Wahid min prophets ta Malawi del, Pastor Timothy Michael, a well-known and respected religious leader from Malawi nak Bakumba. He was arrested again. He kissed one of his church members. You know, yeah. So police, of course. Tawali dakalusijin. Eyewitnesses describe, Begua, because eyewitnesses described the surreal moment when the police entered the church. So Marade, I think she accused him, right? That's why the police were called in.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very sad to see Zol al Musul Kida Kenisa doing that. Yeah.
Is he married? Oh my Mara. Well, is there a law anyways that says kissing by force is a crime and stuff like that? I don't know if the woman is an adult. I mean,
Michael, if somebody doesn't give you consent, you can't go kissing them by force, man.
Yes, because it happened in the church, but otherwise, like, I think kissing mind to consent because I think you just go for it and that's it, you know.
No, I don't think so, man. Oh, bukun kiss Marade beteriga ajib kide Marade tawala accuse the police.
Yeah, the fact that it happened in the church is the problem, but otherwise, I don't think there's a consent for that. And
no. The kissing, I don't know why it happened, but the arrest happened in the church.
Yeah.
Oh.
If you kiss somebody without consent, obviously that's that's sexual harassment. That's an assault. Yeah, you'll be arrested.
But do you ever ask Aluzolga, can I kiss you? Yeah, like to be kissed. Or you just go for it. Hanu,
this guy uses his authority as a so-called prophet.
Oh, okay. I see the point now.
To go kissing the congregants in the church. He just uses his authority, which that's considered sexual exploitation. Yeah. And I hope they lock him up proper so that they can feel it. It's a false prophet.
Yeah, because the woman would not have accused him,
yes.
You know, the police.
Yeah.
If there was consent, right?
Yeah.
He should be booked, man.
Yeah. Gisatani funny kaman in Malawi. So there's a man who was pretending to be a woman in the town of Mwanza. I think it's somewhere close to the Mozambican border on the western side. So police in Mwanza town, Malawi, have arrested a 40-year-old named Chimwemwe, Mpochera on suspicion of extorting money from men by pretending to be a woman.
Walai.
Yeah, so Hope Kasakula, the police spokesperson in the town, confirmed the incident, stating that the concerned citizens alerted the authorities about the man's fraudulent activities. Mpochera allegedly tricks truck drivers. Jamadel Albisugu long distance lorries. So he was apprehended by police and at an entertainment joint in the market in the town. And then, of course, he's to appear before court to face charges of theft. So, jekde bukun kutu badun make up to tamam kida ben bamba tamam like. How is he able to fool those guys? Well, Bilal, come on. I don't understand. Bakumba.
Ana mutaki. If you know, if you know actors tamam, the people who are naturally actors and actresses. So,
okay.
Ana mutaki. Libis waja tamam roa pitokan gair nepsu yekun mara. So there are a lot of people like that, who can you sometimes in this part of the world, sometimes it's very hard to tell who is a woman, who is a man.
Yeah.
So Zolde, if I'm sure he did his research. Libis tamam kutu love ajar kuru fake and jabada fake and soto fake. Manistic toes Yeah, that's a big truck driver. So I don't know, after them Zolde they're accusing of what, of theft?
No, because he pretended and then he extorted money from these people, right?
So Nazdel, they are hoping that they are looking for.
Oh, Marata Shawari, Nuswanta Shawari.
I didn't Nuswanta Shawari. So Nuswanta Shawari, they think it's a torjol figure.
It's a ligole vado Mr. Mpochera.
They are the Muktuman Karan, the Tala Quest. There's a truck drivers. But for me, I don't know how that thing can be sustained in court because now we need to ask ourselves: is prostitution illegal in Malawi? That's the next question. Can illegal? Okay, so how do you charge the so-called pretender? What they're gonna charge him with? What did he steal? He extorted.
Yeah.
Is it extortion? But it's a willing seller, willing giver. So they're gonna have a problem actually sustaining those charges in court, by the way. If the guy has a good lawyer.
Gadi Kanasa Logalia, what goods were you selling to these people? That's the tough one. Yeah, it will be difficult.
But the next question will be, was this good legal to sell? If it was legal to sell, then but it is illegal. So
yeah, my colleague. What do you think of the story?
Yeah? Well, for me, I cannot even point my finger at a direct spot. Algal, this guy is extorting money, is charged of theft, and maybe he's a con woman. I don't even know, and I don't even know. Like when he goes and seduces you for the money, how far is he gonna take? Because is he gonna go with you to a room, for you to find Mara Libisu Sundur fake, Jabat fake and stuff like that? Does he go? How far does he go with that? Will always become a Guruze? Can Guruze Odilo Oto be disappear? Because
disappear, yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, disappear.
Because can go see it if you are big agra angla, I can get a ligo.
Oga ligo Gurusogi Ogi Mesuru Gala be Jerry Mal. Kala services truck driver, services mark, Guruta Mam, service mafia.
Yeah.
I think Zolde is a smart before he reached to the action or be disappear.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing, but that's not even a theft, because if I go to you and manipulate you, seduce you, and then you give me your money, that's a consent that you agree to give me the money. Maybe I will say, okay, so how is that a case?
Gisat, it has my gisat a basket mouth a logala wahit min nuswanta share O lege to mara do shulu. Zama numon bagay nak, of course. Haja de bada agilaw, talaude kulu. Mara de dakal fu malhamam. Jeg de biga morta sala badun fi serir.
Yeah.
Ya mara de kan o bes derek stot bob min jeg de o bada dugu telefon to enak. Gal ya yan o wori le frento kele kolo. So zaman friend de call. Kalas gala friend de geni remind kanu asorobu ARVs to adu ya ta AIDS. Jeg de feraseri rinak. Is you think o bas maja de kul gala mena nama der gisat. Walakin bob fat.
Bob fat kalas.
Yeah, Jamadel into different ways of extortion, man.
Marita Basketman he's a comedian, so those stories can be made up, right? They can cook up those kind of stories.
Let's go to Botswana, where a 57-year-old man in Moshupa village, southwest of Gaborone, tragically drowned in a local river last Sunday afternoon during a church baptism ceremony. What was meant to be a memorable spiritual celebration turned into nightmare when 23 members of the New African Baptist Church, led by their pastor, gathered at the river, and then during the ceremony, 4 members of the congregation slipped into the deeper part of the river. The pastor was able to heroically save 3, and then the last one drowned, tragically disappeared into the water. The case was reported to the police, and then they pulled the lifeless body of the man out using scuba divers from the special support group. The incident, of course, happens in the same river. About 2 years ago, in the same river, 5 children also drowned in January 2022. So gisata drowning del. I used to remember people also get drowned a lot fi ye karenak or fi bahar. Sometimes crocodile bukoni abijuru jamadel wale like what really happens in cases like that, Bakumba?
Yeah, I think because the cases there, I think obviously I think the part of this the Kenisa in charge ceremony that day should be held accountable actually.
Yeah.
Because it's about children congregants the river that you don't even have, you have never done any study. Where is the deep end? Where is the shallow end? Not the book if when and you're taking these innocent people and they are very excited, when you are young, baptism is a very exciting time.
Yeah.
So now they're looking forward to this ceremony, which is a good religious ceremony that people undergo, right?
Yeah.
So as I think this pastor and this church should be held accountable for that kind of action, because it fruit. You're supposed to know where if you believe in this deep water immersion baptism. There's different ways of baptizing. Finas based kutu alamata moyo fi ras. But if you want to follow that route, then do a proper study. Of what river you need to build your own pool in the church or something. Anything that can save lives. So I just be hassle and like you said, sometimes there is octopus and be jurunas.
Absolutely, yeah.
Abu Sayyid be rubu ita pekora be nan Italy nanisa gala buni gala juruzon, but I don't know how to because I don't think in the since we swam in the river Nile for so many years and I'm Abu Sayyid in my own eyes. Ladder and a mooking in the Chinese store in Abu Sayyid and Sokera that small octopus that they eat. But we used to hear Galaxy Abu Sayyid river Nile, but we have never seen one.
Somebody was telling me actually they goromut al kubar del, because sometimes they do that, gal. So they grab you, pull you down, let you go. Grab you, pull you down, let you go.
Yeah.
Michael, any comments on this?
Well, for me, I just think the government is supposed to really take care of its citizens, because and the church itself is supposed to also have some safety measures. Like you're going to baptize somebody in the river. if it is a doctrine to baptize people in the river, yes, but why don't you investigate the place? I'll tagram baptism for God. Send your deacons or your ushers to that part, and they have to investigate the river. If you have to build actually a wall that it will be baptized not there, like if it is like in some places maybe you build something like a pool, a swimming pool, kida. So you baptize people there, and if those kind of pastors are really left unpunished by the government, then that's a negligence of the government to its own people. Because yes, talking about Hajata Absebi or Shunu, I don't know whether the cyclone al Hajidal Moyo Gilifuzere, maybe Ajare Moyo Bija Lifu Bezere to all be see later. Maybe Kengal Absebi. I didn't even see the Absebi Fie in a Lakin Ajare Kangikere. Ajare Kengal like Bijada Habil Tigre, Habil Lotode later, and Habil Lotode like it arcade English, Alkan Nagiseri no Tatagala.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gal Habil Absebi is like ket dak algina de ket English yala nas giseri no Tatagala. Gal Beru Butita Keda Itama Bayani Yala to all be jurita, but I'm thinking it is that water that Algili was there.
The spinning water,
yeah, the spinning water
current.
To all also be spinning it to all be silita, because that water is very strong that you cannot even resist to all be dark later of rado, you know.
And some of those rivers also, it's not just water. Fi Kenya nak, fi Kakuma, for example, the river maybe you can see water, but tehet enak de romla.
Yes.
Even saying at Kapoita, there's the same thing. Like it can carry trees and carry trucks. So when you see the water, it's not just the water flowing. There's lots of sand and all kinds of things in the river. But Yazol can maruf dugu ufa, maruf homo, malta bodo fi deep place.
Exactly.
Ask, find out, if he's able to swim. If not, just give him space. Yeah. Talking about drowning, this story is from Nigeria. So one of the security guards, fi Mahalde, decide Seragu diesel, min tank. Agila Gomas, Agila Sefinja to se benako dakalo jwa tank Canberra gata diesel or drowned figure diesel inak. Yok. Yeah. And then his lifeless body was found early on the Monday, early morning, on September 23rd, 2024, which is just a few days back. The witnesses said the security guard may have attempted to steal the diesel, but he slipped. And I think armless kidder, right? Like the diesel is a bit slippery. So if you climb into the tank, you're not coming out for sure. Yeah. And then they came and they were looking for him. He didn't show up in the house at home. So they went and looked, the Babtok and Fadi, of course, they looked down, then checking the tank, the poor guy is in there, he's dead. Quite sad, huh?
Yeah. So what's Rubenzin Malian partner?
Yeah.
That's a very, very painful drowning.
Yeah, even the fumes alone can kill him, right?
Yeah. That's what I think. I think the fumes killed him because diesel is more denser than the water, right? So
that's right.
Yeah, and it's very slippery with the tank there. The tank there is very slippery. Also, you put your leg wrong spot, you will find yourself
inside.
And also the fumes plus the height of the thing is too high. You cannot swim in there because the diesel is very dense,
very thick. Yeah,
it's very thick. So you would like maloma silu container base jada juanak. Or something like a horse, and then juru fi jirkis or something.
Your Marbania, it's your Marben can also your Marben also. There's no way out. So it's quite difficult. Yeah. It's quite.
Remember, Fiena Korea del Kanjabe Betankar someone de ala Nas Musaidinta Arabad Nas Algi Nas Tamarkaz Z. Those people can get addition over English. Nasta makaze doman bijana. Yamade bijada pipe tomande is like a horse into the mahal algefata go benzinde. So they just besides the real best game malaje refi jarakis. Those people they go.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think with the Serega mentality in the guy's mind, he wasn't thinking that far. he was focused on stealing and then, of course, lost his life. So, yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah, you know those tankers, they are oval. So once you step in Malzere,
you're
is slippery, it will take you.
Yeah. So let's go to Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, a gigolo is in jail for assaulting his sugar mommy. The incident happened in Vuma, Zimbabwe on September 3rd, which is a couple of days back. Mr. Mpindu, that's the man, discovered that his sugar mommy, one Katoma, was in bed when he came, in bed with his friend Vitalis Masama. So the 24-year-old man, Mpindu, he'll be sentenced to 12 months in jail because he assaulted the lady after finding her in bed, of course, with his friend. So on the day he found her in bed, he walked away. And then the following day, he found the same woman with the same guy at the shopping center. Mama Malaki Yazol. Ita atendu ya tugisa ma jegde. Kede kalan na rafi beta na ro unu sukalamde. O osul fi beti na ko bada nangaro mamade. Dugu tamam. Gisa osul le police. The guy is in now. 1 year in jail. Gisa.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like and the lady is like 40 years old. He's like in his 20s. Yeah. Why? Bukun hibu mara de ziada wala gisa de shuni nasa.
You remember the adage. I think it's the adage that the beauty is always in the eyes of the beholder, and they say love is blind, right? So it doesn't really matter. You can be 20 and you can be blinded by a 40-year-old, 50-year-old, or a 60-year-old lady, and you find that you are already like stuck with her, and you don't want to see anybody with her, regardless of your age. You don't think that I'm young, I can find more younger women of my age and stuff like that. So, but the fact that he went and fought the woman, beat the woman up there, that's a mistake. The woman is almost like his mom, because a 40-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man, I think that can be like, I think even most of our women, they don't get married in the 20s, like maybe in the 16, 17, 15, they will have a son that is like her son. You're fighting like your mom. That's too much.
Yeah. It's funny you said love is in the eye of the beholder. No dugu usatamara de, now the woman is blind. So, love is now blind.
Lakini mungkin dem hala loga ako fogo mamuru. Mara de 40, maybe she's a little bit stable. Yeah. He's maybe obiga. The source of income is disappearing. He has to defend bank bitoya. So the ATM to mamuru. So kanairo rajin tane geja ako mara loga ako fogo ma de mushkila.
Mushkila jek dak de zato jek tane de muaras kaman, because they sabito zato. It's his friend who goes for the same woman. So the friend probably knows Galfe Akilini. Let me get her. And I'm talking about. Go ahead.
I actually didn't see it in the context of Tajigolo and stuff like that. But I think that's true, because why are the friends fighting over a 40-year-old woman? Like, it doesn't really make sense, because they have the chance of meeting those younger ladies that are not of that age. So maybe that's where they were feeding, and they are mala mungira da fogo leben fogo.
Slay queens are there, but they are not like the sugar mommies who have money. So,
yes, exactly.
Take that of it, the money. A former Kenyan presidential candidate in US jail, Abduba Mohammed Dida, a former presidential candidate in Kenya in the 2013 and 2017 elections, is currently serving a prison term in the United States of America at a correctional facility in Illinois. He is serving multiple sentences for stalking and violating a restraining order. He was identified by inmate number Y51285, sentenced to 2 separate charges. The first, classified as stalking and transmitting threats, earning him 2 years in prison. And the second one, aggravated stalking and violating a restraining order, 5 years sentence. Both charges were, of course, from incidents that took place in McLean County, Illinois. Prison records show that the former presidential hopeful was admitted to the Illinois Department of Corrections on November 18th, 2022. So Jelda Waduru, because he's in jail, he's eligible for parole in 2025, with the full discharge slated for April 2029. Of course, Abduba did arose to prominence during those 2 years of election, 2013-2017 in Kenya, for his unconventional campaigns style and his focus on educational reform. He previously taught English, literature, and religion at Lenana High School, and then at Dadaab Refugee Secondary School. Michael, when you were in Dadaab, did you see this guy?
Probably I didn't see, but I didn't hear about him. But yes, I was in Dadaab. What year was that?
I'm not too sure. But he was a presidential candidate in 2013 and 2017. So that's probably before. Maybe in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Before,
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember during those I actually followed those 2013 election, and Dida was very popular actually especially among the youth. He was very because I remember the elections. I think that was the time Uhuru, Ruto, and probably Raila on the other side, and Dida was somewhere in the middle there, and he actually got a substantial amount of vote, and then the guy just vanished.
Yeah.
Even me, sometimes I used to wonder where nobody knew where the guy left. No, knowing that he was busy. I think he's a 40-year-old man still stalking women. So I don't know what's wrong with it. That is one thing you can't do. You can, especially in the US, people need to understand. The US is the US has the largest amount of inmate population per capita on earth. So in the US actually, it's like a country that like to jail people. So make a mistake, the system is already designed to jail you. So and then you go there and it's we need to find out Mara de Kawaja or the Somali woman come on, and it basically he looked like he was stalking a woman or something. Mara talk and when Mamuru, so maybe you can but then somebody will intervene and we'll find out. But it's a very sad scenario. You're busy stalking somebody. Man, in the US or any country where they like to jail people, you will be jailed for sure. That's how you are.
And he's going as far as 2029. That's
but he has parole next year, right?
Yeah, he's eligible. He's eligible for parole in 2025. In 2025, which is next year, and then discharge. Basically, the end of his prison sentence will be in 2029.
That's a sad. He's gonna. I don't know whether he's gonna come back and still qualify for another presidential campaign in Kenya.
No, with a criminal record, I don't think so. He's
done anymore.
He's done. Yeah.
But
because
too
that
sad for him.
Yeah, that rules him out. Kalamta Nuswande, they say that it brings down kingdoms, right? So,
yes. Kingdoms, and Solomon and Munukulu was brought down as Samson because of Nasawen, right?
Okay, and talking about the U.S. government, they have decided to waive visa requirements for citizens of Qatar. Of course, Qatar's population is 2.6 million, and only 315,000 are citizens. The rest, of course, migrants. That means Qatar is pretty rich. So the U.S. visa waiver program is mainly reserved for wealthy Western European and Asian states, it seems, right? So Qatar has a GDP of almost $90,000, which is over $10,000 above the US GDP. My colleague guess where South Sudan is in terms of GDP currently. $425 US only. 10 years ago, it was 1,700 compared to Qatar, 90,000. Anna bosol fi marhala dak miten ma benzin tanna wa hajad kulu. And when we are busy shooting each other on the highways, do you think we'll ever get into this program anytime soon, Bakumba?
No, it's actually possible. I'm not too pessimistic.
Yeah.
I think it's possible to get there. To get there as long as you have proper leadership.
Yeah.
Like 30 years ago, there was nothing called Dubai. Dubai just came the other day. I remember when they were growing in Africa. I think the best place here was Libya by then. Tripoli was like the Dubai of Africa. And there was nothing called Dubai. Even though those of Qatar, like most of these Gulf states actually developed, I would say, in the last 20, 30 years actually. Most of them. Because of the oil boom and they're able to invest properly on their citizens. So Junub Sudan, if you want to take off, definitely 100%. We can take off within 10 to 20 years. Question population is we are a very small number. Compared to the resources that we have, compared to the land, we are really South Sudan is sparsely populated. Basically, we really have. We have a very small population. So if you are talking about Qatar, about 90,000 GDP per capita, man, that's a lot of money. That means every man, woman, and child in Qatar, if you calculate the GDP according to how much if it's shared equally among the citizens, each person alive, is earning 90,000. So if you have
that's per year, right?
Per annum, yeah. So ita mamara taki you're almost looking at 200,000 earnings per year. So it's pretty impressive with the population of 3. They are very impressive. That's why Qatar is considered one of the wealthiest nations on earth right now, actually. Where there is no poor Qatari unless there is one that has decided just to be poor. But the government really support their own people. Their system are heavily funded by the oil money. Yeah. Oil those guys, those kings and emirs, they actually share the resources.
But the most interesting thing is like this decline of the South Sudanese GDP from about 1,070 to 425, right? 1,070 about 10 years ago, 425 this year. And really the economic decline in terms of GDP, you can see it affecting people. Everybody can feel the pinch, right? So these numbers are credible, and so the Americans are giving the Qataris free waiver for visas to get into the US. Of course, ita kan junubita jeribu apply, you have to go through the whole process because dunia de mata nasal masakin. So we should really work hard to make sure we become rich. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Of course, I take this chance to thank you for watching and for keeping it with us. We look forward to seeing you again next Sunday at 8 p.m. Of course, don't forget to comment, share, subscribe, and ding the bell, and follow our YouTube channel, which is Yazol TV, and follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on TikTok. Same, Yazol TV. So you'll find the links to each of the social media handles in the description of this video. And so tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you again, Bakumba. Thank you, Michael, and may God bless South Sudan.
Yazol.